think it's going to happen to you until it happens to you.
We hear that so often, and now, once again tonight, we're hearing from one of the two women shot in downtown Indy over the weekend. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Anne Marie Tiernan.
And I'm Jenny Runovich, in tonight for Felicia. Our Ashton Hackman talked exclusively today with one of the victims about what happened and her recovery.
It was the worst pain I've ever been in my life.
A pain she never imagined she'd feel. That's how Gracie, who asked us not to show her face or use her last name, describes the moment she was shot.
It went through the left side of my foot and went through the tissue and came out.
Her friends rushed to help. Thankfully, the bullet missed bone, but it struck another woman and hit nearby businesses. It happened around 4:30 Sunday morning near Washington and Meridian streets. Gracie and her friend Azariah were heading home.
I just know a lot of people are going to be like, what did they do? Or what made a person? No, we wasn't in the drama. We wasn't arguing with nobody. We was walking. We was having fun. We was being girls.
Both women heard the shots but didn't see where they came from.
They shot without a care. They didn't care about life. They didn't care how many people they could have killed or hurt, who's a mom, who's a dad, who's a son, who's a daughter. They didn't care.
And while Metro Police continue to investigate this shooting, it comes less than 2 weeks after a 17 and 20-year-old were arrested for firing off shots at this same intersection and injuring a man. The shooting and others before it leaving both women rethinking downtown nightlife. They say teens are to blame.
And that's all that it is in Indianapolis. Downtown is teenage boys running around with guns and on the streets.
Just want to go downtown and just have a kid-free night with my friend, walk around and not really worried about nothing. Not really sit over here and just worry about, oh, what's going to happen to me, or is there anybody that's out looking for me or anything like that. We just wanted to go have fun.
A night out with friends interrupted by gunfire. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
So here's what else we're learning about this case. An IMPD police report lists a black male as the suspect, but police have not shared any information yet about any potential arrests. Anyone who saw or heard anything about that shooting, though, is asked to contact either IMPD or Crime Stoppers.
Right now, Metro Police are investigating after a person was found shot to death inside an apartment on the west side. Here's what we know. Officers went to the boardwalk at Westlake around 12:30 this afternoon. The apartment staff there found a person who had died inside the apartment. At this hour, IMPD not releasing the victim's age, race, or gender. They say because of the nature of the investigation. Now they're asking for those around the area, the neighbors, to help figure out what happened.
We're looking for anyone with possible footage from the past couple days even. We don't know when this occurred, so we are asking anyone with surveillance footage, heard anything that would resemble a gunshot, to please come forward, contact the IMPD homicide office.
You can contact police directly. Also, you can submit a report anonymously if you call Crime Stoppers.
Tonight, 2 teenagers under arrest after they ran from police with guns. IMPD says they were trying to serve a warrant at a home near 38th and Midhofer after getting a tip. They were told a teen had multiple guns and was involved in a shots fired incident. Well, IMPD shared these photos showing a gun dropped by one of the teens during the chase. They say they also found 2 more guns inside the home. Police say at least one of them was stolen.
A man from Danville made his first court appearance today, facing charges that he drove a school bus while intoxicated and while taking kids to school on 2 morning routes.
Our Rich Nye was in the Hendricks County courtroom today. He has the details on the random drug test the substitute bus driver allegedly failed.
52-year-old Micah McLean worked in maintenance for Mill Creek Community Schools, but he was also the primary substitute bus driver. On April 15th, he was called in to drive a high school and elementary morning pickup route. That also happened to be the day of random drug screens for the bus drivers. After transporting 44 students, he registered .111 blood alcohol level on a breath test. That's almost 3 times the .04 limit for commercial drivers.
Certainly we're thankful for that random drug test in that moment at that time. I think the stars aligned in our favor, because had he been able to do this again, and potentially somebody could have gotten hurt or killed.
McLean faces felony charges of neglect, OWI, and criminal recklessness, plus other traffic violations. McClain appeared by video from the Hendricks County Jail for his initial hearing. His bond was set at $1,500 cash. And while he awaits trial, his driver's license is suspended, and he is not allowed to consume any alcohol or go to any bars or liquor stores. Tonight at 6, what the school bus video allegedly shows that had kids on the bus concerned. In Hendricks County, Rich Knight, 13 News.
5:05 on this Monday, and here's a live look downtown right now. You can see a little bit of clouds there, and it's keeping it kind of cool and mild today. 73 degrees right now. Really nice to be out and doing things without feeling that heavy, sticky feeling we had last
Right,
night.
right. It's just one of those days you walk out, you look outside and go,
Because we didn't do that much last week.
no, it was rough.
We went,
Right. It was heavy's a good way to describe the air from last week. Sticky too. We're going to stay in check in terms of humidity levels the next several days, but unfortunately we add severe weather back into the mix this time tomorrow. Take full advantage of the dry time right now. Mix of sun and clouds all across central Indiana. We've got a clear view from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway toward the city of Indianapolis at this hour. We also have plenty of blue sky and just a few fair weather clouds in Bloomington and Monroe County. This over the IU campus. Looks great over Bainbridge as well. Plenty of sunshine right now. Temperatures are in the upper 60s and low 70s across central Indiana. There's a close-up view of that IMS camera pointed back to the city of Indianapolis. We have 71, 73 in Lafayette, 68 in Crawfordsville, and 70 degrees right now in Richmond. Overnight temperatures under clear skies will drop into the 50s. So out early, maybe a jacket or a sweatshirt. Temperatures will climb into the mid 70s. And once we reach the afternoon hours, there will be some scattered showers and thunderstorms developing, and we go under a level 1 threat of severe weather. It's a level 3 by Wednesday. Again, I'll have the timing to help you make those plans for the next couple of days in just a few minutes.
Yeah, great idea to get that emergency plan ready. All right, we'll check back, Angela. Thank you. There are some new concerns tonight about the 16th Street Bridge construction project. So that bridge is getting a major upgrade right now, but a group of cycling advocates say those upgrades just don't help people who like to bike or run or walk.
Right. This is a major thoroughfare from downtown Indianapolis out to Speedway. And Jenna Webster joins us live there at the bridge tonight with what some of these concerns are that you're hearing from people. Jenna.
Yeah, that main concern I'm hearing is that the sidewalks here on the 16th Street Bridge are just too narrow for bikes to be able to safely pass one another. And it's going to stay like that once it does reopen. We actually just saw a great example of that as we were coming on the air. One bike was trying to get by, another one was trying to come this way. The biker next to me actually kind of had to move off into the bushes to try and let that other person safely pass on the sidewalk. Now, the sidewalks here on the 16th Street Bridge are 5 feet wide. Central Indiana Cycling says those need to be wider so bikes are able to pass one another. The executive director says if that can't happen, he says there are wide enough shoulders on the bridge that could be turned into designated bike lanes, or you could also expand those sidewalks out.
We were surprised that it wasn't in the design from the beginning. It is more complicated and more expensive to come back and fix a completed design than it is to just do it right the first time.
I talked to the city's Vision Zero administrator, and he says maybe those concerns should have been addressed before in the design phase, but there are a lot of restrictions that come with historic structures, and this project is federally funded. So if they were to make the changes now, it would derail the timeline for this project, which is already expected to take 2 years. He says once this is done, they'll look to add some temporary measures to help better separate cars and pedestrians. From there, they're going to be able to decide if anything more permanent needs to happen. Central Indiana Cycling says that this is definitely a step in the right direction, but they want to see what those designs will actually look like, make sure it's actually going to make a difference here. But for now, the good news is with the 16th Street Bridge being closed to cars, but the sidewalk is still open if you want to come bike, walk down here. Still able to get between Indianapolis and Speedway if you're on your feet.
Yeah, that is some good news, Jenna. Thanks. As my grandfather would say, as far as that redesign plan, he would always say, well, the horse is out of the barn by now. So that's the way things are. All right, Jenna, thanks so much. Other news now, Indiana state leaders joined together today in Plainfield to unveil some big upgrades to the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. They include new classrooms, updated training spaces, and new dorms. The ILEA serves as the main training facility for police education statewide. Indiana Governor Mike Braun says it's about investing in those who are keeping us safe.
Supporting law enforcement means giving officers the tools they need to do the job well. Strong training helps officers serve Hoosiers safely and professionally. Indiana will continue to invest in public safety and the people who protect our communities.
The project initially approved back in 21, but experienced several delays and increases in costs.
Hey, let's talk Indiana Fever. The team is on fire right now. They're on a winning streak. They're back at home this week. 2 games at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and they're both on our air.
Yeah, lots of ways that you can see the action. It all starts tomorrow night at home, hosting the Toronto Tempo. Our Dom stopped by the Fieldhouse today and checked in with the team. Dom.
2 home games for our Indiana Fever this week, Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday on WALB, our sister station. Thursday, right here on WTHR, as we roll right along here this WNBA season. The theme lately, not being able to keep opponents down and continuing to let big leads slip away. Be that as it may, the Fever continue winning, having won 3 in a row and sitting at 8-5 thus far this season. However, making a habit of playing with its food, toying with the 4-win sky and the 2-win sun, but hey, still coming out victorious each time. We got a chance to hear from Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell at practice today. Both vets spoke about why they feel these leads are disappearing in these games.
I feel like most of it is controllable for us, and I think that's where we just have to get better, is making sure that we continue to execute the things that we're working. But then also, I think defensively, I think we have little lapses here and there, and both teams that we played have just been able to capitalize on that. So for us, just making sure that we're on our P's and Q's every moment.
I think a lot of it gets a little comfortable, but I think, like I said, discipline. I think not fouling people, sending them to the line. I think that's big for us, just not fouling. I think that's one of our Achilles heels right now. That's just kind of keeping people back in the game because we foul a lot. And I think if we take that out, we give ourselves better chances to really take off on people.
Look, winning is winning. That's the name of the game. Fever tomorrow night at home against the Toronto Tempo. That game's 7 o'clock Eastern and is on our sister station, WALV. I'm going to be there. We'll have full coverage for you throughout the day on Tuesday.
All right, Dom, we are ready. Thanks. And we are your WTHR home of your Indiana Fever. Dom mentioned it. Tomorrow's night's game against the Tempo will be broadcast free here in this market on WALV MeTV 13.3. Tip is at 7.
You can check out the full schedule, by the way, at WTHR.com/fever. Lots of games to come.